today I'm going to show you how to curl your hair with your thermal styling brush. The thermal brush that I'm using today is the one from Wavytalk. This is their thermal brush that's just a thermal brush. I also have the black one used to be used. That's also Wavytalk, but it is the one that the head detaches, and it is a 5-in-1 tool. They're both great. I have them in my Amazon storefront. I also have a Time-O thermal brush, also great. Honestly, pretty much every thermal brush I have used has worked really well. So if you have one at home, don't feel like you have to rush out and buy the same one I use. But if you are looking to buy one for the first time, I do really like these Wavytalk ones. Now, you have seen me style my hair with a thermal brush many times on my channel here, but I'm usually adding like flips and volume. I don't really curl with it like you do see some girls on TikTok. And the reason for that is my hair isn't long enough. You really need a little bit more length than this to get a curl. So to fix that today, I'm gonna put in my hair extensions. So I'm just gonna add my halo that I have from YoungSee. It is human hair, so it will style. I think this one is like 16 inches. So it just adds a little bit of length for me so that I have hair that is long enough to curl with the thermal brush. Now you'll see they're kind of flippy because I have actually styled them before and they have been washed since they were styled, but that's okay. So you can see the hair doesn't have to be crazy long, but you do want a little bit more length, sort of like at your bra area. Otherwise you will probably struggle to get curls. So to do curls with the thermal brush, we're going to take a section of the hair, grab it. I like to grab it sort of towards the middle. I pull it down towards the end, and you want to make sure the hair is really brushed. You don't want to have to be dealing with pulling tangles out during this portion where you're pulling the brush through. So as you pull it down to the end, start to wrap. Hold on to it for a few seconds, maybe like 10, 20 seconds tops, and then unroll it, and you get a really pretty curl. Okay, they're going to be soft curls. So if you want to make sure that you're not tangling, what you want to do is you don't want to start wrapping it while you're in the middle of the hair here. That's going to start to tangle things. You want to make sure that you brush it down, and as you get to the end, you can start rolling like that and then roll up. The idea is to make sure you keep all of the hair going in the same direction, none of the hair trying to go back the other way. That's when you're going to create tangles. Now you could unroll that way, but that's not going to support your curl really well, and your curls are more likely to fall a little bit if you do that. So what I do is I unroll it just a tiny bit so I can grab just above, and I start to untwist. And that's going to leave the curl a little more intact, and I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to leave it like it is and grab my next section of hair. Comb down, twisting once I get to the end, rolling up, holding for 10, 15, 20 seconds. The thicker the piece of hair, the longer you're going to want to hold it. So what I like to do is feel the hair. If you can't really feel too much heat yet through that hair, then you want to keep holding it a little longer. And once that hair starts to feel like, oh, that's pretty hot, then you can untwist it and you've got your nice curl. One way to know that you may have created a tangle when you are wrapping your piece is once you've rolled it, if you give it a little tug, the hair should slide out no problem. It shouldn't be stuck. If it is stuck, then you want to immediately undo what you've done and start again. If anything is stuck, you don't want to keep going because you'll just make any tangles and whatnot worse. So make sure if you're thinking that it got stuck, give it a little test. If it is stuck, unwrap it and start again. So now you can see we've got the curls. I'm gonna do the front here. I'm gonna give it 2 sections. I'm gonna give it like a curl backwards. You can see some of my hair ended up here on the handle of the brush. That's not gonna curl, but that's okay. I just grab a smaller section above. And these pieces aren't, like I say curl, but like they're not really gonna curl because again, they're not very long. You need to have the hair wrap around several times with a brush like this to get an actual kind of ringlet. This is just gonna give these like a swoopy texture that's gonna blend in with the curly look of the hair much better than if we just left them straight at the front of our face. So there you can see, curly side, not, well, I mean, there's a little bit of curl on this side still, but not curly side, really pretty. We'll just quickly do this side for the sake of cohesiveness. There we go, all done. I love curling with a thermal brush when I've got my extensions in or for clients that I have with longer hair. It gives just a really pretty blowout curl look. It is a lot of volume. It's really, really fun to do. It's really, really easy to do. You might have to try a few times to practice, but once you get the hang of it, it is not a tricky technique to get down. Thank you for watching today. I hope you found that helpful. Let me know in the comments, as usual, if you have any questions, and I will do my very best to answer those for you. And let me know if there's any other techniques or anything you would like to see, and I will make videos about that for you guys. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff that helps my channel here grow. Until the next video, bye guys.